the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. Thanks for watching on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. In this hour, we have an update on the Dodgers rotation, who Dave Roberts is going to go with in the first 3 games, and then probably game 4 as well. How he's going to use Clayton Kershaw, you'll find out that. Pauly has awesome props for baseball. We have a ton of props to get into for the NFL for Week 5. And Nigel Seeley, best bets in soccer for the weekend as well. The afternoon games now, Pauly, in the NFL. Buccaneers are playing at the Seahawks. Seattle now touching 4 in some spots. Baker Mayfield, 10-17 straight up, 18-9 ATS, though, as a road dog since 2020. The Buccaneers shorthanded again this week. No Bucky Irving, no Mike Evans, no Jamel Dean. Others are out as well. So my biggest question is, who takes over for Bucky Irving? Rashad White is the obvious answer. But my money is on Sean Tucker, who last year in a game against the Saints, when they were down running backs, came in and blasted New Orleans for like 130 yards, scored a couple of times, had a big game in the air as well. White's going to be the number 1 guy. Tucker will probably be on the field for about 40% of the snaps. The angle that I bet is this. Seattle has allowed the most receptions to running backs in the league, tied with Baltimore, 29 overall. They've also allowed 266 yards in the air to running backs, 21 more than second place. Sean Tucker's prop, when I bet it this morning for receiving yards, is 4.5. Every backup running back who has faced Seattle this year has had more than 4.5 yards receiving. And I talked to Paul Charchian about this today, off the air, obviously, running this down. And he said, sometimes this can become a thing for an entire year where the defensive strategy is we're going to allow the running backs to kind of get what they want, and we're going to shut down everything else. So, like, we have the personnel to shut down Emeka Egbuka in this example here. And Chris Godwin's not going to do much, and K. Dotton's not. But if the running backs want to catch 8 balls for 75 yards, that's fine. Now, is that going to happen with Seattle all year long? We'll find out. But he has pointed out, like, some teams will have that approach as like a defensive unit. So I think that 4.5 was worth a bet to me.
I like, I don't mind Seattle first quarter, get off to a hot start, and Tampa's allowed a touchdown on their first drive, opponent's first drive, 3 of the 4 games. To see their record, and they have a 0-point differential as well. All these games have been close. They could actually be 0-4 when you think about it. I bet Seattle. I like the Seahawks in this game. From another standpoint, props, I go back with JSN over. Even after the slow start, what he did in the second half and the win against Arizona. Cooper Kupp has gone under 6 of the last 8. Kupp under, JSN over, coupled also with Arroyo. I like Horton a lot. Maybe dump it off to Walker as well. I think that's how they'll attack it. But the one thing here, you got to win games like this now. We all know McDonald's 9-1 on the road and how great they've been on the road and what's happened at home. So it was great against the Saints, which you're supposed to take them out, and they were awesome in that game. But I know you deserved a better fate. You had that turnover late, and they should have beat the Niners. But this is where they have to show this is a home field advantage. You never beat the Legion of Boom and Wilson and Carroll back in the heyday. They got to start winning these games at home, and I think they will.
Okay. Have you looked at the Opta AI projections for this game?
Not on this game.
VSiN.com.
I also like both teams to make a 33-yard field goal. I go back to what McLaughlin's done and how Fangio was ticked off, which see this guy, he made a 65-yard field goal and a 58 on us, no problem. I mean, these guys got big legs, and I think 33 is definitely easy and doable in this game. Yeah. What happened?
They have JSN going for like 114 yards again.
That many?
Their numbers love this guy. Remember, they had him blowing by the number last week against Arizona, and it came up, I think, a yard short at the current number. But he's listed as low as like 78.5. They have him soaring like over 100 in this game yet again. Yeah, right there you go, 114.6. And more than 6.5 receptions basically on average.
Let me see what that would be then. If you go to DraftKings, 1 second, 120 yards is plus 370.
Okay.
Good.
He'll probably get 10, 11, 12 targets in this game.
Yeah. Well, they were right on Stafford. There was like a 30-yard difference what their projections were, and he had no problems.
Right. I wonder how many people at Circa Survivor, I should say, will use Detroit this week and just say, I'm going to punt on this team. I know they're playing on Thanksgiving and Christmas, 2 separate weeks here in this contest, because they're playing, to me, bottom 3, bottom 5 team in the league this week.
Are you aware of how good they are ATS? And
oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay. I mean, this is just, it's 71% going back the last couple of years.
That's all the way back to 2021.
Yes, it is. There are 11-2 ATS as road favorites going back the last couple of years as well. This is just staggering stuff, what Campbell has been able to do here and how they're an ATS machine. The other thing is the horror show here with Cincinnati.
Yep.
I think they can hang in this game.
Oh,
I do. Because you can't, come on. It's been a debacle the last couple of weeks. They're the first team since 2019 to lose by 24 or more back-to-back games this early in the season. You give up 900 yards. You turn the ball over 5 times. You've been outscored 76-13.
What's to like? Tell me.
I mean, this is just, well, I think Browning 2 years ago. I think Browning against Jacksonville. Got to take care of the ball. But I just don't, I think they can, you're talking about a team that has been embarrassed and looked like a high school outfit back-to-back games against a team that's been perfect. I'm asking Detroit to be perfect again. At least, can you bring your A game again 3 games in a row? And is Cincinnati going to bring their F game 3 weeks in a row?
Well, I think,
I'm not saying win the game, but I mean, 10.5's a lot.
I think the Bengals A game might be the Lions D- game, because that's how bad Cincinnati might be. And by the way, what if Browning was a total flash in the pan? And that small moment in time, that was it. Like, he's never going to show that ever again, because I got news for you. He's got weapons, but the offensive line is just, he has 0 time to throw the ball.
And you can't run it either. That's the other thing. Can't run the ball. So what does Detroit do offensively?
Okay, well, here's the angle. Now, this is a super sad story, but I played the audio for you during the break. David Montgomery is going back to Cincinnati. He's from there. He grew up a Bengals fan. He's going to have a ton of family in the stands, including his sister. His sister, he told Kay Adams this, has never seen him play with her own eyes. She was paralyzed from the neck down more than a year ago in a car accident. She's going to be there in the stands this week. And David Montgomery told Kay how special this game is to him and what it's going to mean for him, for his sister to be there in the stands. Right? That's the real life story. So what do we do as a gambling network? I think it's all about him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure the coaching staff will do the same.
They know. They're obviously they're talking to him and like, okay,
he's 5-1 to have 100 yards.
The Bengals have allowed 494 yards to running backs on the ground, second only to the Bears. Like, they're getting gashed up and down. They've also allowed 6 combined touchdowns on the ground and in the air to running backs. This, to me, is going to be, look, they're a 10-point favorite. If they're in control the entire time, there's going to be a lot of running, and there's probably going to be nothing that the Bengals can do about it because their defense is just as bad as it gets. So I have played this several different ways. I played his rushing yards prop over. I played him to score the Lions' first touchdown of the game. I played him, this is the biggest bet that I've made this week. I played anytime touchdown David Montgomery and the Lions to win the game -125. Because his anytime touchdown prop opened, I think, -150. It's like touching $2 now. So there are many different angles that you can attack on this, although the numbers, and I think, obviously the word is out on this, and people have been hitting it ever since. But
good angle.
You can tie the real life story into how can we maybe capitalize in it in this crazy racket that we talk about all the time.
Yep.
So I did it several different ways. I'm thinking about like 2 or 3 different touchdowns as well.
Well, it's also, if not now, when too, for the Bengals. Are you just going to do the roll over here? Is the season over now?
I think yes.
That performance on Monday night, hideous. Look away, everyone to see. You have the nice drive to start, and then that's it.
Here's what I would do, Pauly.
Now at home after that, if I don't get anything going here, just might as well just call it a year, collect the jerseys, and that's it.
I think so. And by the way, all this talk that we've had, are they going to trade for Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Again, it sucks, but you're a month in. Clearly, you're a bad football team. Do you really want to just like have Joe Burrow come back in December when you have 3 wins or 4 wins? What's the point? He'll get massacred behind this awful offensive line. I would just say, let's prepare for next year and get the worst possible, or the best possible position that we can get in the draft, and then take maybe, the best player there, or we can trade and get more guys. They need everything. They need like 4 guys on the offensive line, and they need like 8 guys on defense.
How about the under in this Washington game? Too high? What do you think? I think it is.
Yeah.
Daniel's good to go. Alt's out. Becton questionable. Chargers, off that bad performance against the Giants. I know it wasn't a great spot. You just played 3 division games. But to go on the road and look like that with the turnovers, I think Herbert bounces back. And certainly you can move it against Washington after you saw what Atlanta did. It's 2.5 now. 47.5 the total. I think the total's too high, though. Dicker over 1.5, too.
For sure, yeah.
Absolutely, with Dicker.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it lost once already this year, but...
Yeah, okay. And then walk me through Arizona quickly. You're concerned? You think it's too many points? You think Tennessee can compete?
Oh, this is only like a survivor thing quickly, is that I don't want to use it on Arizona. I don't trust this team at all.
Okay. Murray 11-1 to the over against teams with a losing record since 2022. Good numbers there. What happens if you're in an accident and the other driver doesn't have insurance or not nearly enough? You're the one stuck with bills, repairs, and lost wages. That's where Lasso Injury Law steps in. Their experienced teams knows the ins and outs of uninsured and underinsured motorist claims, and they fight to make sure you're not left paying for someone else's mistake. And if the worst ever happens, know that Lasso Injury Law is there for you. 702-625-8777. Free consultation. They fight for you. No voicemail. Lasso Injury Law. LassoInjuryLaw.com, 702-625-8777.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll run down a lot of the Opta AI stats that they're hot and heavy on this week, player props in the National Football League that you can find at vsin.com. Nigel Seeley's best bets in soccer at that time. Here, Major League Baseball, news item, Pauly, confirmed Dave Roberts. The rotation, game 1, we all knew about Ohtani. Game 2 is going to be Blake Snell. Game 3 is going to be Yamamoto. Tyler Glasnow will likely pitch game 4. Clayton Kershaw will pitch out of the bullpen. You're seeing a prop offshore that says which pitcher will
appear in relief first. Kershaw versus Ohtani. Kershaw $1.60.
Okay, well then if you have access to like these offshore books that they give you these novelty props or props like this, these creative stuff that you can bet on, they'll let you get down like $10, whatever. That's a limit bet then on Kershaw. Whatever they're willing to give you, it's like free money then. If he's telling you that he's going to pitch out of the bullpen, Ohtani's going to be in game 1. That's a team coming out and saying who we're going to draft number 1 overall.
Okay. This is great. These series are so good on paper. But the other thing, it was a unique season. Nobody won 100 games. So even though Milwaukee had the best record, best run differential, 3rd in ERA, 52-29 at home, 97 wins, they're only $1.25 against the Cubs. And the Cubs are without their best pitcher. And they're set up with Peralta and then Priester. And they got the Miz coming out of the bullpen. 7-6 Cubs regular season. Freddie had 17 wins, 9-1 with a 1.77 at home in 17 starts. I think this Cubs team, I know they're public, but I think they're getting too much respect. They finally won a series for the first time since 2017. But, you're going to throw, Imanaga on the road? Or maybe back at home in game 3. You're going with, did they say, was it Rhea? I think Rhea's going in game 1.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
Okay, and then it's going to be Boyd in game 2. I just think the Brewers are too good here and much the best. I'm shocked at the series price that these guys were the talk of the town for the whole season and won 97 games, and they're only $1.20 at home.
Okay, so isn't that number incredibly fishy to you? Because to me, it just reeks of, okay, that's going to be you want to talk about another limit bet? Like, here you go, take all my money. It's going to be the Brewers at that price.
Yeah, if I lose, so be it.
But right. To go back like the tail end of the regular season when we talk baseball every single day, there was a fishy number on the board at least once every single day. And I'm going to say that the other side won like 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah. And I still don't trust this Cubs bullpen when you're going Kittredge or Keller and what you're doing there. and how that worked out. They should have blown that game last night. I mean, he hits back-to-back hitters after the ridiculous call on Bogarts. They were in trouble there.
Yeah.
That was going to get interesting.
How do you approach Michael Busch at this point if you're the Brewers? Guy's been blazing hot now for a while.
Yes. They didn't hit, though.
No, I know.
They didn't hit against San Diego.
Well, once it goes to the pen, though, nobody can really hit the Padres.
Uh-huh. Well, fair enough. But that's a lot of respect for the Cubbies. Your thoughts?
I don't get it.
Yeah, I know.
Don't. So that scares me. I don't know.
Okay, well, how about the Blue Jay price? Hold my beer. I mean, the Yankees are $1.50 without home field. 8-5 Toronto in the regular season. The Blue Jays were awesome at home, 54-27, 43-30 in one-run games. The other thing I like that I mentioned earlier, Milwaukee was number one. I think the Blue Jays were third at getting the guy in on third with less than one out. Love that as well as these are low-scoring games. And they're going to go Gossman in game one. It's Heel for the Yankees. Keep them in the ballpark. It's number one in home runs with the Yankees. Toronto, fourth in runs scored. They don't strike out. I'm surprised at this line, too. I think this is too much respect for the Yankees. I know you got Fried. He's a stud. I don't know about Rodon, especially on the road. And then you got, Cam.
You can say it. Go ahead.
Unbelievable what he did.
There's an extra L in there with the name.
I know. I'm nervous, though, in case I know I'm going to screw it up because I'm thinking about it now all the time. But what he did, and now he's an ace. After what you got to be concerned about that this guy can jump on my back and carry you with the gas that he throws. But
let me chime in real quick on him. And this doesn't have to do with this year, but file this away for next year. And Jensen Lewis and I text back and forth last night during his performance, and Jensen's spot on. He goes, the Yankees will be an autoplay next year to win the American League and probably to win the World Series. They have this guy.
Cole's back.
They got Cole coming back.
Yeah.
Judge, is going to be in the mix to win the MVP again if he stays healthy, which he probably will at this point, right? Like, they are going to be loaded next season, and I completely agree with him on that. But I knew the Yankees were going to be favored.
Uh-huh.
I actually, Paul, I got to tell you, I need a little bit more money to bet the Blue Jays. I think the Yankees win the series.
Oh, really? That'd be tough. That'd be a tough way to go out. I'll tell you, though, Seattle and Toronto are going to be epic. Those atmospheres. Toronto has
Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's true. Toronto hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. They've lost 7 in a row. Seattle hasn't won a home playoff game since 2001. Come on.
Well, but how many times have they been in the playoffs since?
Yeah, I know. It's only a couple games, but still.
Can you believe that those Ichiro teams are 25 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
All right. Seattle is $1.65 at DraftKings.
All right.
Number one in September with record, runs scored, home record, sorry, runs scored, home runs, WRC plus, and a 17-1 run. They were awesome. I'm surprised with what they're doing with the rotation. You got the bad news. Come on. The timing with Wu, that's a killer. And it's going to be pitching.
Well, what is the official news with him?
They don't have an update. They hope for later in the series. He's not going the first two.
No, he's not.
Pectoral issue, and it's pitching chaos for Detroit in Game 1. I imagine it's Scooble's Sunday night Game 2.
So on MLB.com, that's currently still unlisted for the Tigers. But Game 2, so we know now Kirby's going to go Game 1, and Castillo's going to go Game 2. So the plan here must be to save Gilbert to go on the road for Game 1. They probably trust him a little bit more on the road.
I hope you got Wu. Got to have Wu.
But you have to have Wu, because if Wu's good, that's the guy I want going for your first road game.
I love how this offense played down the stretch and how they hit the ball. Before that Dodgers series, which I throw out because they had everything clinched, they were 51-27 at home, and they were 23-3 in their last 26 home games. Mm-hmm. They are under 500 on the road. That's the one concern I have about this team. And then the Dodgers are $1.25. We finally get to see Ohtani on the mound. Sanchez hasn't lost at home since 2024 of July. 55-26 at home, the Phillies, with the 9.99 that they're trotting out. Number one in blown saves in the second half of the season, the Dodgers. Hopefully Sasaki and Kershaw can help out. Philly starters, number one in ERA, number one in innings pitched. What a matchup.
So Sanchez has made 4 starts in his career against the Dodgers. 2-0, 4.01 ERA. It's a very small sample size, 24 innings. The whip is 1, but 8 Ks per 9. He allowed 4 home runs, 2 of those to Teoscar Hernandez. He's the only guy with good numbers against Sanchez. 5 of 12 career.
Okay.
Again, not a lot of at-bats here, but 2 home runs. Ohtani, 4 of 16, 0 home runs. Freddie Freeman, 1 of 11. Has not hit a home run, and Mookie Betts 2 of 6. Ohtani has only faced the Phillies roster once, and he went 5 innings, allowed 0 hits, struck out 5. This is maybe the World Series right here. I don't want to disrespect the Brewers like that because they did have the most wins and they have home field. I get that. It sounds like I'm the one making the price here on the Cubs series, but these 2 teams are absolutely loaded. And how about that comment? It was from Jensen, right? He thinks the Dodgers bullpen is actually better than the Phillies.
Well, they had their issues,
and then he
too.
said, think about that for a second.
They had their issues, too.
No question they did.
I know. Cool props at DraftKings on every series. Will a game go extra innings? Plus 150. Will there be a walk-off? 2-1. Will there be a grand slam in the series? 3-1. Will there be a triple? Even money on all these series.
Wow.
That's something you got to look at.
Okay.
And then the series leaders are awesome. Home runs, hits, walks, strikeouts, stolen bases, RBIs, all that stuff is great. Caesars has more home runs in the postseason. Schwarber versus Raleigh. Schwarber's $1.30. Offshore.
I'm not sure about that because the Mariners are a decent favorite against the Tigers, and the Phillies are a dog here to the Dodgers.
Offshore has fastest pitch up again, 102.5 miles per hour. Got to look and see how many guys throw that again. That's who are remaining. What will happen first? Immaculate inning or inside the park home run? Immaculate inning, $1.30.
Well, neither will happen, but I'd go inside the park.
Golden sombrero to occur is plus 550. And then you can bet how many games will reach game 5 and sweep. Well, any game goal 11th inning or beyond is 3-1 as well. But this is just phenomenal with the props, with series leaders and all that stuff, and what can happen here with these 4 good matchups.
Mm-hmm.
First Bet and VSiN have teamed up with a special offer. Open and deposit a new First Bet account. Get up to $250 sign-up bonus with promo code VSiN250. Place $100 in wagers within your first 30 days, and you'll unlock a full year of VSiN Pro. If you're already a subscriber, we'll extend it another year. It ends Sunday. Don't wait. Claim this special offer. Code VSiN250.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Ton of props to kick around coming up. Bombs away in the NFL. Try to give you some winners and hit some big tickets in a second. It's our weekly visit with Nigel Seeley. Get up to vsin.com. Always read his articles with his predictions and plays with the soccer, EPL, lower leagues. And we caught up with Nigel earlier today. It's going to be cold with rain in England, and he started off with some of his plays talking about the weather.
Hello everyone, Nigel Seeley here for my weekly roundup of the English Premier League. And all across England this weekend, the weather is pretty horrible. Winter has certainly arrived over here in the UK. Lots of wind, lots of rain, and it's pretty horrible. Anyway, that may affect the way you play the Premier League this weekend. Usually in the wind and rain, you want to go under on the goals, but we'll see. There's some one-sided matches that may counter that argument out. It's been a tough start to the new season for me on this column, and also on my appearances here with Mitch and Pauly, but I'm hoping this week we're going to bounce back, and I'm very confident. I'm probably on match day 7 the most confident I've been about the matches this season. Now, my first match starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's a London derby from the Emirates Stadium where Arsenal take on West Ham. Arsenal right now are the best defence in Europe, probably the best defence in the world. They had another win to nil in midweek with a 2-0 success against Olympiacos in the Champions League. They play 4 matches at home in the Premier League. They've won 3 of them, and all 3 of their matches they've won 2-0. They beat Nottingham Forest very convincingly. They beat Leeds very convincingly, and they're up against a West Ham side that did improve in their last match against Everton, have got defensive frailties. I'm going to take Arsenal here to win 2-0. On the money line, they're minus $6, but you can bet them at minus 120 to win 2-0. So as long as Arsenal win this match and do not concede, we're going to cash our ticket. Not my strongest biggest bet of the Premier League this weekend, but it certainly is a bet for me. West Ham have a good record in this fixture. They're unbeaten in the last 3, but Arsenal this time around, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, best defence, and I think they'll keep West Ham at bay, whose only real attacking threat is Jared Bowen. So Arsenal to win 2-0 on the Saturday is my first bet of the English Premier League weekend. My second bet is on Sunday. And we start at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And it's the trip of Brighton to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, Wolverhampton Wanderers got their first point of the season last week with a draw at Tottenham, 5 defeats, 1 draw. But they're still a very, very poor team. Brighton had a brilliant win against Chelsea. Admittedly, Chelsea were down to 10 men, but Brighton did win 3-1. Brighton are scoring lots and lots of goals this season, and they've got an excellent record against Wolverhampton. If you look at the last 4 years in this fixture, 2-0, 4-1, 3-2 and 3-0. 16 times they played, these two sides, since they did the start of the Premier League, and only 3 wins for Wolves. Brighton really are Wolves' bogey side, and I think at even money, I think we've overreacted to that point last week at Tottenham for Wolves. They're still a poor side, and Brighton are a good side moving in the right direction. So I've gone for that one there. I've gone for Brighton to beat Wolves at even money. My final pick is on the match also on Sunday, and it's a match again at 9 a.m. It's the game between Aston Villa and Burnley. Aston Villa had a big win last night in the Europa League. They had a big win in the Premier League, 3-1, their first win of the season, which was against Fulham last weekend. And they're a side, when they hit form, they do really hit better form, and they go on winning runs. And the same can be said for their goal scorer, Ollie Watkins, who is their best player, their best attacking threat. He's the guy who gets all the goals for him, and he goes on heaters. Whenever he has a run of form and he scores a goal, he goes on and scores again the following week. If you look at it last season, I think he did it 5 times, scored back-to-back goals. The season before, it was 8 times, and the season before that, 9 times. So when Ollie Watkins scores, he usually scores again, and he's up against a team in Burnley who I think are the worst team in the Premier League, and I expect Aston Villa to win fairly comfortably. And if they do win, Ollie Watkins usually scores, and you can get even money for Ollie Watkins to score any time. I like him to score the first goal at 4-1, but you're better off to bet him to score at any time at even money. There are a few bets also like in the Premier League. I think Newcastle will cover the handicap against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are a very poor side. Ange Postecoglou, their new manager, is the even money favourite to lose his job. I think Newcastle will cover that spread. And if you're looking for a shock, Sunderland may get something from the trip to Manchester United. They will not fear a trip to Manchester United. Plus 550 is the price for Sunderland. But they're my 3 official plays. Arsenal to win 2-0. Ollie Watkins to score any time for Aston Villa against Burnley. And my final bet is Brighton to win away at a struggling Wolves side. Good luck with your bets. Hopefully we're going to cash some tickets, and we'll speak to you again very soon.
All right. Go get them, Nigel. Well done. And hope you catch some tickets this weekend.
Let me give you some player props right now that the Opta AI projections are hot and heavy on at vsin.com. I'd go check it out for yourself this weekend if you can. You can mix it in, see what they're like really big on here, if it makes sense with your numbers as well, other angles, other stuff that you might find at vsin.com. First of all, they're a brand well known in the UK, soccer analytics, and they branched out here in the States for other sports. They're going to, they're really big into the quarterback, wide receiver, running back props as well. And you can find some stuff maybe with like the INT props that are listed, but they have Mahomes going under by 52 yards. Now, some of the stuff changes, obviously, as you get more maybe injury news, and if bettors are moving the market and numbers go up and down. But Mahomes under passing yards by 52 yards with the projection here. They have Darnold going over by 46 yards against Tampa Bay. I think that would be good for our Elijah Arroyo props in that game.
Okay, yes.
Kyler Murray under by 37, Justin Herbert by the same amount. They have Goff going over by 36 yards against this bad Bengals defense. Dylan Gabriel, 1.95 INTs thrown when they run their simulation. For him to throw a pick is almost $2. You said earlier, that's almost like Jameis Winston territory.
Yeah. Winston was like $3 when he was in Tampa.
But don't you just see it where, like a Brian Flores-led defense where he has dominated rookie quarterbacks before, it's going to be super confusing. It's coming at him really, really fast again. Blitz is going to be on, throws it up. Minnesota has playmakers on that side, and there you go. There's the INT. What do you make of this? Geno Smith, who leads the league with, 7 already?
Yeah, 7.
To throw an INT right now, still as low as minus 133.
Wow, that's low.
I know. Opta AI projects 1.83 INTs out of him. It's like Oprah giving away a car. Who needs an INT?
You get a pick,
Here you go.
Get a pick, yep.
Barkley under 79.5 rushing yards by 21 yards. So they're projecting another off game for him.
They struggled, yeah.
And now
his high game's 80.
Yeah, this is going to hurt your feelings, I think. Justin Fields under rushing yards by 17. His prop is 51.5. They project him for like 34.
I don't see that, but good luck.
Talked about this earlier. Mm-hmm. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba.
Oh, wow.
Projecting for 115 yards.
120's 5-1. Bombs away.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
You can find as low as 78.5 on him. Also, Amon-Ra St. Brown over by nearly 22 yards. Xavier Worthy under receiving yards by 21 yards. Keon Coleman over by 20 yards. A.J. Brown over by 20 yards.
He is 630 to have 110 yards.
Oh, man.
Plus 630. That's just at DraftKings. But shop that if you think that he can finally go off here.
And don't you like this one? With the Jets taking on this high school defense with the Cowboys, Garrett Wilson, they have going over by 18 yards.
Yeah.
So.
Got that. How about Michael Carter, 2 touchdowns plus 650 for the Cardinals now, stepping in. Supposed to be the goal line guy.
They're big on his under.
Got that? Okay.
For rushing yards, but there's going to be an angle here. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to have to get the touches.
Start with a bang while we're on the air in London. Mason, 2 touchdowns, 6-1. Addison, first touchdown, 12-1.
I like the Addison bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a shot deep. Could happen.
I'm anti-Jordan Mason, though, big time.
I don't think he's going to have a big game. I just think it's, the goal line guy, and Gabriel could have a pick, set you up deep in Cleveland territory, couple 1-yard runs, that's it.
That's what, honestly, that's what scares me big time off the under here.
That's what Cleveland did against Baltimore. Defense was nasty, but they, turning a ball over, block bunt. It's like, how the hell did they score 40? Well,
right. Now, that game can certainly be like 13-10, but I think with everything considered here, right, injuries and then, the quarterback play, rookie going to be in there for the first time, don't you think the defenses on both sides here will have a chance to set up the other, like their offense many times with like really good field position by strip sack, INT, whatever it is? Yeah.
Yes. NFL season going strong and rolling, and every snap brings new opportunities. Make sure you got the edge with VSiN Pro. Save 40% on our football season special with a follow money promo code FTM. Full access to everything we do across every sport through the Super Bowl. That's every best bet, every host, every guest, the leaderboard, the betting splits, the Mackinnon betting systems. The stuff up there, Steve Cohen, our guy, said it today. It's unbelievable the content that's up there on that website every single day. You got tennis, you got soccer, you got props, NFL. The Bill 80 recap this morning was awesome. How many people had the Rams? Great stuff. 24/7 video replays, live breakdowns. Lock it in. Tell your friends, damn it. It's ridiculous. This website's the nuts. 40% off today. Promo code FTM, vsin.com/subscribe.
On coke if his girlfriend was knocked up.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your children's children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
What a game last night. Incredible. That's why we love this sport. I thought we were looking at another tie.
Of course.
It's definitely in play. Man. CLV, stick it. Rams lane 3, $1.20. No good. Go home, play with your kids. I lost this by a yard. Puka, I said, how can this lose? I lost by a yard. Puka, 25 yards in each half. He had 24 in the first half. Everyone goes over except Puka. And Puka couldn't go over the rushing yards either.
Well, he went over his receptions prop, though.
He did have the receptions. You are correct. Not yards, though.
Well, here's the thing.
Yep.
That game, everything changed about that game because they got buried in that hole immediately.
That's right.
And so it's like, okay, well, the running game, forget it now.
Yep. Use check over, yards, winner. Mac Jones rushing yards went over. Longest rush, 4.5, didn't get there.
What was the prop for
Loser.
his rushing yards?
3.5. I think he had 5. His longest rush was 2. I think he had 4 for 5 yards. And then they had to do the back-to-back sneaks when they were pinned at the 1. I didn't like this either. That's not Corum's fault they fumbled.
Not at all.
That's a dumb play to pitch the ball to him. So he fumbles and doesn't play him again after he had the 13-yard run. And Corum doesn't see the field again.
Yep.
So over 32.5 yards, and that opened 26. That's a loser. Stafford, no interception winner. 12 straight games. The Niners haven't picked off a pass. That's a record. So no good there with the props. Unbelievable. Commanders pending. That's coming up. Look ahead. Week 6, Monday night, 5.5 against the Bears. Like that a lot. All right, let's rock and roll. Seahawks laying 3 against the Bucks. Denver plus 3.5. It's 4.5 at DraftKings now on Sunday. Chiefs money line. Talking to my guy Richie. He thinks he makes this line 6. He's shocked at this line. Loves the Chiefs Monday night against Jacksonville. I think they win and cover. Colts laying 6.5 against the Raiders. 6.5 it was at FanDuel earlier today. Colts, Raiders, both teams to make a 33-yard field goal. That's $1.30.
Yeah, I'm tailing on that, yep.
They've moved it to 35 at Caesars, so I'll always shop that. Although Caesars does a good job with having the kicking props up right now. Cowboys, Jets, both teams to make a 33-yard field goal. Trader, also over. I can get to that coming up. Waller, anytime touchdown, plus 275. Ollie Gordon, anytime touchdown, plus 250. Trader over 1.5 made field goals. It's $1.30. He's 4-0 to the over, and he's 14 of 15 on the season. Or 13 of 14, one or the other. But the guy's been great, and the Colts have been kicking a ton of field goals. Brewers, game 1 against the Cubbies. Peralta, damn right. Been so good at home. Milwaukee's been great at home. Take the Brewers in game 1. Fairbairn over 1.5 made field goals, $1.50. That was plus money 2 weeks ago. And sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. Bundesliga. Bayern Munich and Frankfurt over 3.5. Frankfurt just played a 6-3 game, and the history here of these clubs. The last meeting was 4-0. They played a 3-3, a 5-1, and a 6-1. Over 3.5 in Bundesliga tomorrow. Good luck.
All right, recapping last night's action. Demarcus Robinson went over his regular prop. That was a winner, but the stretch here came to an end. The decent stretch put together over the last week plus ended because the ladder props did not get there. Do you see what he ended with? 39 yards.
How many catches?
3. He had 7 targets. So Matt Jones missed him a couple times as well. Threw him a little bit high. If he's accurate on those passes, he does have more than 50 yards, but those other ladder props were no good. Bourne was the guy to be on yesterday, missed that one. And Corum 50+ was no good at plus 250. Pending and new stuff for the weekend as well. Dodgers holding out to win the World Series 7-1. I bet that the day the playoffs started. And Darren Waller, comeback player of the year at 40-1. If he goes like 2 more touchdowns again on Sunday, we'll be looking pretty good with that bet. I'm not asking for too much there, I don't think. Also, Saints. Bet this one was a pick.
All right.
Early in the week against the Giants. Woody Marks over 2.5 receptions, plus 114. These numbers have since moved. And over 13.5 receiving yards as well, taking on the Ravens. They have allowed, they're not good, put it this way. Baltimore is not good at all at slowing down running backs in the air. 29 receptions, tied for the most with Seattle. 5th most yards allowed. Marks looked awesome last week. I think he's got a definite spot in this game as well coming up on Sunday. We talked about this earlier in the hour. Not going to revisit the entire story. If you missed it, you can always go back and listen to the Follow the Money podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, to get the whole story. We talked about David Montgomery going back home to play in Cincinnati. Anytime touchdown in the Lions win the game, 2 units, minus 125. Over 50.5 rushing yards, minus 120. Montgomery, most rushing yards in the game, plus 310. In the game in London, Jordan Mason, under 66.5 rushing yards. The Browns' rush defense, second overall in adjusted line yards, number 1 in running back yards allowed, 4th highest stuffed rate at the line of scrimmage, second best in the second level, and the 7th best overall in the open field. Chase Brown, 21 for 43. Derrick Henry, 11 for 23. Josh Jacobs, 16 for 30. Gibbs had 91. Montgomery only 12 yards last week. I'm betting that Mason goes under 66.5. And Sean Tucker, over 4.5 receiving yards against Seattle. I mentioned that with the Ravens. Seattle has allowed more yards than anybody to running backs and as many receptions as anybody to running backs out of the backfield. There's no Bucky Irving. He was ruled out today. Tucker's going to have a role in this offense in the game. I'll go over 4.5 receiving yards. And then a couple teams here I think are on upset alert. I'll take the points. Washington goes across the country. They put everything into that game against Ohio State. They were terrible. Give me Maryland plus the 6. They just went to Madison to beat Wisconsin 27-10. Illinois. So they got killed 2 weeks ago by Indiana. Life or death against USC, won the game. Next week they play Ohio State. Purdue's off the bye at home. Give me the 9.5. And I have to keep betting Air Force games over after watching this team play and how many yards and how many points they give up. Navy Air Force over 51.5. And that was minus 105 when I bet that today.
All right. G-Bank, built with sports bettors in mind. Right now, earn a $50 cashback reward bonus once you're approved and your account's open with the G-Bank Visa Signature Card. Most credit cards, street sports books, and gaming transactions are cash advances, even when it's your own money. G-Bank treats them as regular purchases. No cash advance fees. You save up to 3 to 5% on every deposit. You'll earn 1% cash back on all eligible sports books and gaming transactions. 2% cash back on everything else you buy. Apply now, VSiN.com/GBank. VSiN.com/GBank. If there was going to be a slow day or not a great card in college football, tomorrow's the day. Because you got Cubs Brewers at 11 a.m. Pacific, Yankees Blue Jays, Dodgers Phillies, and then the Mariners close it out.
Yeah, but
that is strong.
I disagree. I think the card's pretty awesome in college football.
Yeah, okay.
We only get like 12 the entire year. I think there's some pretty good games on there.
Hell of a baseball card. These matchups are great.
I will say this. I cannot wait to watch the contest show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock out here on the West Coast, right here on VSiN. Brown, Samich, Stevens, Benson on the program. I think it's going to be a pretty high number that they reveal of people who were on the Rams last night.
3,000?
Is that what's that percentage? Is that 25%? I think it's going to be a lot. Yeah. I'd say in the 18 to 20% range, and it might be low. I had 5 of them here at Circa on the Rams last night. Not a good feeling.
6 total.
Yeah, 1 at the Westgate. Yeah.
26 people had them at the Westgate.
Yeah, so that contest is now down to 54 people. I also want to know how many people, Pauly, had the Rams in Grandissimo.
Are you hearing something?
I'm thinking that was probably a decent number.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
Interesting.
That's the $100,000 contest for those people who are unaware of that. But that was not a fun one to go out with. I do, but I'm okay with the pick. Like I'm not even going to think about it twice over the weekend.
Look what had to happen to beat you. The fumble at the 1, the blocked extra point, the missed field goal, the fumble by Corum, also driving. Mac Jones was Joe Namath. Incredible. NHL season drops the pucks October 7th. We have you covered. NHL Hub at VSiN.com/NHL. Packed with team previews, future insights, award markets. Get Jonathan Davis on the show next week. Can't wait. New content. Features rolling out all season. Everything from Stanley Cup contenders to player props in one place. Get ready for opening night at VSiN.com/NHL. Guys did a great job. VSiN.com/NHL.
2 other quick takeaways from last night. Shanahan, absolutely live to win Coach of the Year.
Yep.
Matthew Stafford, I think, is live in the MVP race. He was awesome again last night. Friday, Football Invitational. Matt Humans, a ton of picks. Next.